Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good morning. This is my third attempt. I've been my kids are just waking up, my grandbabies. I'm kind of half sun, half not. I guess I could scoot over a little bit so y'all can make sense of me. I know not too many of you watch this. I don't have a big following on YouTube. I don't do a lot with YouTube yet. Got woke up bright and early this morning with a cat fight. I have an outdoor cat. He used to be someone else's cat. You can tell by his behavior, and we've adopted him. But it wasn't him that was fighting. It was a neighborhood Tom. Big orange and white one. He's pretty. And I have a camper here with my Kylie and her wife. And they have a cat that gets out. And they don't know how the cat's getting out of the camper. But their cat is the noisiest one of them all in the neighborhood. And I got woke up about 6 o'clock this morning with the cats yowling. I went and knocked on her door because her cat was right there by the camper. And I'm like, get your cat, please. I was nice about it. I wasn't upset with her. It's not her fault. And yeah, cat ran off. I didn't see what direction, neither did she. So she seems to have left this morning. I hope I didn't upset her, but I was kind of frustrated, but I didn't take it out on her about being woke up so early, and I haven't been able to go to sleep since. So, but it's okay. I'm not upset with them. It's not their fault. They're trying to figure out where he's getting out at. Cats are crafty critters. Anyway, so this country was happened upon by the Europeans. This country was already inhabited by many nations of indigenous people who have been called Indians and tribal and just all kinds of crazy names. Today, I guess they want to be spoken as indigenous. Now, I will say this. Most of my life, I have been told and under the impression that I was Cherokee, Cheyenne, Irish, and some other Europeans' blood. Did a DNA. And it kills me that both my DNA tests pick up no Native American. And I get people on and say, yeah, I knew it. I could tell by looking at you. No, you can't tell indigenous people just by looking at them sometimes. I knew that the Native American in me would have been little, considering I was born with red hair. Of course, it also, part of my lineage was traced back to the blonde, redhead, blue or green-eyed native out of Alabama. Wrong lineage tree. Now, am I a spiritual person? Very much so. And a lot of people believe and a lot of people don't. But I was driving a truck with my ex-husband going through Death Valley. I had a truck that I still very young driver. It was cab over, and I didn't realize it had valves underneath the cab that I had to turn off to stop the heat flow. I have kids getting ready to come to me, so if I pause this and restart again, it's because of that. Okay. Anyway, driving to Death Valley, California. Didn't know about the valves. The owner of the truck didn't tell me anything about these valves. So we have heat blowing, and it's like 120 degrees outside. 110, 120, whatever, in the desert. It was approximately 130 degrees in the truck, and yes, I had a thermometer. Anyway, I had my ex-husband, my daughter was an infant in the back, just sweltering. I'm driving, windows down, vents open. Hold on. Third time's a charm, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, had all the windows open, the vents open. I've got this wispy hair. It You can look at it and it'll blow, okay? Um 1 minute my hair is just blowing in the wind, driving down the road. Next thing you know, my hair sits still just like it is now. Very little movement. Another time. And I knew I was in trouble. I thought maybe we were dead at this point in time, you know, being exposed to so much heat. All I remember is I looked to the left and I saw a ridge, and I saw a painted pony and a Lakota riding with me, just running right along with the truck. Now, I don't know if that was Lakota land, but I don't know how I know that he was Lakota, but it was like I had known him my whole life. No saddle, no nothing. Um, Indigenous attire from dated back when. And it was that person, that spirit, that saved my life. Now, I have always loved and defended Native Americans because I learned the truth at a very young age. What happened? I did not believe the schools and their education process when it came to natives. I also know that Europeans have been shipped over here long before Christopher Columbus. Um, but anyway, I've always felt a sense of connection with them, and I don't know why. And then I found my biological family, and I was told I was Native American through my grandfather, Joseph Gale Redmond. And that it was Cherokee, and I do believe she said Cherokee Cheyenne, and Irish and Scottish and whatever else. So that just enforced my feelings and my beliefs with Native Americans, and I have always claimed it with pride. I do 2 DNA tests, and that didn't show up an ounce of blood of Native American in me. But I still feel the way I feel as if I am one of them, though I'm not. I will still stand up and defend and protect Indigenous lives, because while we have all these protesters talking about Black Lives Matter and injustice and this is happening and that's happening, well, let me tell you what, that was happening long before any, and pardon my reference because I don't know what the proper way to speak this is. Long before black people were even brought to this country, Native Americans were being abused, mistreated, and their culture was being snubbed out from underneath them by Europeans. Go to find out I am a fucking European. Full. Okay. I don't hate that idea. I just hate the history. So, I also found out that in my Irish culture or my Scottish, whichever one it was, that we had indentured servants as well. So we had a little bit of slavery in our family on a different level, not the same, but still a slave. And no human should ever be a slave. Ever. But it happened. Can't change what's already been. I can learn and speak the truth about it, though. Anyway, with that being said, yeah, I am Scottish, Irish, and Northern European. Northern England, they said. So I'm trying to trace my roots. Found out that I've got some royalty blood from way back when. Not that it means anything today, and not that I really care. But we had some royalty. Not queen or king type thing, but the offsets. But learning more about that, kind of interesting. But anyway, top of the morning to ya. Yeah, not trying the accent, just saying top of the morning. I Anyway, I kind of got sidetracked there, but what I was starting to say is I had gotten on Facebook and asked a question. Now, my wife was home and we had drove by these Trumpers. And mind you, I don't care who you picked for president. I really don't. I'm not one of them. Oh, this is where I was getting at when I said I got sidetracked. Hi, baby. Um, this is my outdoor kitty. No, 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 no. That's my outdoor kitty. That's Big Boy. He's the alpha around here. Literally. Cats twice his size bow down to him. We have fought since the Europeans decided to take over this country for equality and freedom. We have fought for the freedom of the Africans that were brought here, black folk from wherever that country they are from, because various different countries, Africa mainly, but other countries as well. Lay down, lay down, lay down, lay down. Their freedoms, the freedom for women and their voices, and the freedom to vote and to speak and stuff. We have fought for equality for all, and though there's plenty of inequality still going on, Native Americans are still being murdered, raped, violently being abused, children being slaughtered and raped, and just a lot. But inequality does run in the black culture as well. And I don't deny that. I'm not one of them. I don't partake in that. I don't judge people. I have opinions, but I'm not going to judge you for yours. Okay? That's just not me. We fought long and hard to have differences and be okay with the differences. I mean, back in the day, men would gather and debate over presidency and who's going to be elected here and who's going to be elected there, and just, and they were all debates. And you would have maybe one or two that would walk off and all of a sudden become an enemy. But most of them, in our modern term, agree to disagree. And they did. And they were mature about it. So my wife and I, back to modern day, we're driving past this huge bunch of Trumpers. They're on PA systems. You got 4 of them. I believe it was 4, maybe 5, all having their own PA system, all saying different things at the same freaking time. Okay, we have the right to gather, and we have the right to protest and and support and gather like that. We have that right. And, they were a little frustrating because of how noisy they were. And noisy because you couldn't understand anybody because they were all talking at the same freaking time. And when you have those megaphones and stuff like that, and there's like four of you talking at the same freaking time, standing less than 5 feet apart, it becomes noise. Anyway, yeah, let them do what they do, whatever. You're a little loud. Loud is annoying. Can't understand anything, but okay. But what you could notice was their behavior. And their behavior is appalling. Just nasty. Cussing people out. Couple had walked by and did not say anything to these people. They didn't go, "Yay, Trump." And because they didn't do that, the Trumpers attacked them. Yeah, what a way to represent the president that you want to be reelected. Be violent. A grown ass man, not small by any means, shoved a tiny girl. This girl was tinier than I was. And he almost shoved her into an oncoming car because they're right off a main road. And the speed limit averages from 30 to 40. Then turned around and punched boyfriend, husband, whatever he was to her. And almost put him in the line of cars. That's how we support our president. Be violent. That's the answer. My wife flipped him off. We didn't witness that. That actually had made the news, and there was video of it. That's how come I know what happened. But she just kind of flipped them off because they're just being a bunch of assholes. And they're being mean to people. And they're cussing people out. The parts that I could hear. And if people didn't honk their horns or, thumbs up or yell, "Hey, Trump," or anything, they would cuss you out as you drove by. Said that we're American hating people. And they told my wife, "You fucking hate America." And someone else out there without a megaphone called her a bitch. And I hit the brakes. I was ready to go back over there. Of course, my wife has this amazing way of just touching me and calming me down at times. Sometimes she has to get in front of me. No, I'm not a volatile person, but when you attack my family, even verbally, I go from 0 to 60. I can't help it. I'm an imperfect person. Coffee time. And I've seen on the news and other demonstrations, and these Trump people think that they're going to get their way by being violent, by being loud, by being aggressive, by saying you hate America, you hate this, you hate that, you hate all that stands for, get out of this country. Just because somebody doesn't like Trump doesn't mean they hate America. Trump is not the epitome of America. America was here long before Trump and will be here long after. Trump is not the epitome of America. Okay? Somebody votes Biden, it doesn't make them less of an American. This is our country now, unfortunately. Actually, technically, it's not. It belongs to the indigenous people that live here, and I wish they would crack that treaty that they have. I really do. I really wish the Native Americans would call out that treaty, because the Europeans have violated that treaty so many times over the last hundreds of years. Yeah, I'd be happy to go back to Scotland. Not that I've ever been, but I'd be happy to go to Scotland. But yeah, this is our country. And Trumpers, among others, had such an issue over Black Lives Matter doing all their rioting and violence because they didn't get their way, because of the inequality that is going on in this country, but they used violence to represent the injustices. And all the Trumpers and people alike all had something to say about that. Now, do I agree with the violence? Hell to the no. Do I think that getting violent and looting and burning businesses down, which really kills me, because it was black on black crime, a lot of it, not all of it, but there was plenty of black on black crime. The Black Lives Matter was burning down Black Lives businesses. Hold on. Okay, where was I? Dealing with kids took my train of thought away. But anyway, yeah, they just, this whole country had something to say about the violence of Black Lives Matter, and here Trumpers are doing the exact same thing because they want Trump to be reelected. In spite of the fact that Trump had sexual charges against him messing with a 13-year-old girl. 13 years old. Once Trump in office, even though he said he was attracted to his daughter, and if it wasn't his daughter, he would, her. That's disgusting. Trump thinks he's better than everyone else and doesn't want to give up his taxes information like all other presidents had to do. Trump has good points and Trump has bad points. He's a womanizer. He thinks that he can go after a woman, do whatever he wants, and shouldn't have to pay the price. Trump and his behaviors would take us back 200-300 years. Do I like Trump? No, I don't. Trump has lied over and over again. While the pandemic was hitting, which he knew, he was out playing golf instead of taking care of us. That man is a self-serving son of a bitch who knows how to talk and manipulate the situation and the people. He's an arrogant, pompous ass, and his behavior will take us back 300 years. As far as Biden is concerned, he's a puppet. He's a sleepy puppet. You know what it is to look at a president-elect getting ready to go to an interview on live television, and when they introduce him, he's sitting in the chair with his head down snoring? Wow. Biden is a fucking puppet. Trump has some good points. Biden has some good points. Do I think either one of them should be in the presidency? No, I think this America is going to hell in a handbasket. But that's just my opinion. Doesn't change who I am. And why would you fucking do that? Why would you fucking call me un-American and every other name in the fucking book because I don't agree with your opinions of Trump? That'd be like saying one person likes green beans and the other one doesn't. You're gonna start a war? Seriously? Yes, I understand. It's the fate of the country. But being violent over it isn't gonna change a fucking thing. So my wife goes back to work, and I'm getting up to the point, I've been on here a lot longer than I normally am. I'm usually doing 15-20 minute videos. This is a lot longer. I have kids in the car. I have the windows down because it's a nice day. And I drive past these Trumpers. Even though voting is done, they were still out there screaming their mouth off, talking about the ballots are rigged and people are throwing away and Trump's the true president, not Biden, and all this other hunky-dory crap. You know, Trump, no faith in America, no faith in the people. And here's the thing, he's talking about these certain states that aren't counting the ballots right, and they're throwing away the ballots that say Trump so Biden can win. Well, what about the states that Trump did win that had more ballots counted than they had registered voters? Hello. Thank you, Russia. We know that Trump is your golden boy. Oh yeah, not to mention Trump married an illegal immigrant. But we're talking about putting up a fucking wall, but Trump was married to an illegal immigrant for a while. Look it up. Do your fucking research for real. Not just pick and choose what you want to hear. If you're going to research somebody, do it correctly. Do the whole thing and accept the negative with the positive. Half-ass sons of a bitches. You just take what you want from it. What suits your own personal agenda. Just like him. Just like Trump. Your own personal agenda. Driving past these Trumpers, if people didn't honk their horn for Trump, they cussed you out. I was called an un-American fucking bitch, and me and my family need to leave this country because we're no longer Americans. Yeah, that's what my children needed to hear. My kids need to hear somebody calling them un-American, calling us heathens. Yeah, heathen was a word. Bitch was a word. Un-American. Get out of this fucking country. We're coming after you. I heard that we were on a shooter's list. And of course they seen. I'm going to show you what they saw. And this is what made me a fucking heathen according to them. That I was going straight to hell. God doesn't love me. And yeah, there's a red light right there. So I actually got stopped. That's what they saw. Go the right way, Tamara. Right there. That's what they saw. That license plate ring. Oh, the license plate. The ring's in the back. I just can't get my crap together today. The license plate ring. I'm going to hell. God doesn't love me. I don't belong in this country. And again, like I said, many other choice words. My kids heard that. I had one kid talking about, and I did discuss it a little bit in front of them, because they'd already heard it, about being on a shooter's list, and that we're going to die. And now he is petrified to death that someone is going to kill me. There's my big boy. That's my big boy. I want to know, and yes, I did vote. Who I voted for? None of your damn business. No disrespect intended. I'm just going to keep my vote to myself. Because obviously discussing politics with people causes this irate, nasty, nasty behavior. But my question, now that I've been on here for almost 30 minutes, question is, where in the hell does anybody think being violent towards people, hitting people, pushing people in front of moving cars, telling them they're un-American, among other choice fucking words, is going to change anything? What's it going to change? What is killing people going to change? You Trump supporters, mind you, I understand not 100% of you are this way. Okay, so I'm only talking to the ones that act this way. Where the hell do you think, 1, beating people up, 2, calling them un-American, 3, hitting their car, 4, throwing them out in front of moving traffic that are going 35 to 45 miles an hour, hating, killing people for not wanting Trump in office. Where do you think that's going to change anything? What's it going to change? Somebody, for the love of peace, explain this to me. When has violence ever fixed anything? All violence has done is created wars. And people who win the war, they sit with all of this pride. Mind you, all of us are guilty of a little bit of that pride and arrogance at times in our life. But some of you people, I swear, Trump just brought out the crazies. And Trump thinks it's okay to be violent if they don't have the same agenda as him. Hitler? Anybody say Hitler? Because that's exactly what Trump is doing. A Hitler. I don't get it. Now I'm hearing people say, well, if Trump doesn't make it into office, I'm leaving this country. I'll help you pack. You need a suitcase? Because I got a lot of them. I can give them to you. Same thing that Hollywood said if Trump got into office. I'm leaving this country. I'm never coming back as long as he's in office. Guess what? All of them Hollywood elite mouths are still here in this country. Nobody moved out. Nobody left. You know, oh, I'm Rosie O'Donnell. I'm special. I'm rich. I'm this. I'm that. I'm in Hollywood. And if Trump goes in office, I'm leaving this country because I'm Rosie O'Donnell. Bitch is still here. Shut the fuck up. Am I angry? Yeah, because this behavior is setting us back a couple of 100 fucking years. We are going to have a civil unrest in this country, and that is exactly what fucking Hitler did. You guys ready for the one world order? Because that's what Russia's trying to do with Trump. Trump is Russia's golden boy. And for all you ignorant asses, Trump is not Russian. Trump is German. But he's a Russian-loving son of a bitch. Are we friends with Russia? Not really. Is Trump? Absolutely. Has Russia stuck their nose into the politics over here? Absolutely. Because Trump is Russia's puppet. Biden's a puppet too. I don't think Biden's going to do any better. But I did vote. Not that it matters. Doesn't matter. At this day and age, I truly believe that it's rigged and not by the American people doing the counting. I believe people get paid, bought off. I believe that, especially with Trump's money. Trump comes from a very wealthy family. He has no idea what it is to be middle class. He has no idea what it is to be poor. He has no idea what our lives are like out here. No idea. While people are dying from this pandemic, he's out playing golf, assaulting 13-year-old girls. Thinks that his shit don't stink and he's cock of the walk and do whatever he wants with whoever he wants. His money pays off people, pays off judges, pays off senators. This is why I don't like Trump. Do I think he's a smart businessman? Absolutely. I'll give credit where credit's due. Do I think he's a chauvinistic pig? Yes. Do I believe he's alive in the wrong century? Absolutely. That's why I don't like Trump. These assault charges are real. Look it up. Look it up. All criminal cases, even if they have been closed, are still public information. It's all public information. You just got to look. You just got to go after it. At first, did I think Trump was going to make a good difference? Yes. Then I caught him in all the lies. And then I saw what he was doing when people were fucking dying with the COVID exposure. And guess what? The second wave is coming, guys. Oh, yes. London is shut down. The rest of England's getting ready to close down because of a second wave. Get ready, people. It's coming. I'm getting ready. I'm watching what's happening in the other countries, and I'm watching the numbers go back up. And what's Trump going to do about it? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. He didn't do anything the first time. He knew it was coming. And here's the thing. Here's the clincher. Here's the clincher. Go back to the videos. Obama knew it was coming. Obama warned us. We need to be prepared in case there's some sort of a pandemic. Yes, the fuck he did on video. Obama knew this shit was fucking coming. And he couldn't say anything. Not really. But he warned us, and we didn't catch it. Trump never had coronavirus. Trump never had coronavirus. Trump was never tested positive. That was a fucking ploy for him to get more people. Oh, our POTUS has got the virus. Oh, he survived. Look at him. He's doing okay. They got through it. Barron never got it. Barron lived with them at the time. Trump never had it. Neither did Melania. That was just a strategic ploy. Yet again, he is a master manipulator. And it really sucks because a lot of people, he appeases this savage soul of theirs. Obviously, because they think it's okay to hurt people and their children. Shove people into oncoming traffic just for believing different than them. And we have fought for hundreds of years for this equality. We have fought for a very long time for this equality. So, yeah, it doesn't matter who wins. This country is fucked. So, any of you who gets pissed off at my opinions, okay, you're entitled to that. I have no problem with that, and I'm sorry that it pissed you off, but that's how I feel. Your feelings are just as valid as mine. If you want to stop following me, that's great. You start sending me hate mail, I'll block you, restrict you, file against you, depending on how far you go. No need to harass me for my opinion. You have your opinions, and I respect those opinions. Just because they're not my opinions doesn't mean I have to hate you. It's not what this country was built for. Not what we worked hard for. Differences is what makes this country work. Even God chose to make differences. It's when he divided the nations and the land and the races. Yeah, even God saw differences were good. And opinions can be good if we work together. That's what we need, is to work together. We need to work and meet in the middle. Compromise. Understanding. Agree to disagree. But to hate and be violent? I'm sorry, it just don't make no sense to me. And it's wrong. And that's putting it so mildly. It's just wrong. And it's ignorant. It's ignorance. It's just ignorance. And Trump condones it. What does that say about his character? Granted, he's done some good things for the country. But he's also lied and said he was going to do something and never did. How can you trust somebody like that? Biden ain't much better. He ain't much better. Biden's just a freaking puppet. Like I said, I voted. None of your business who I voted for. I'm not going to get into that aspect. Your opinion, I respect you if it's different from mine. Great that it's different than mine. I have no qualms about that. Because I choose not to judge people for our differences. Hopefully I can upload this. This is a very long video. And anybody who watches it in its entirety, God bless you. I don't expect anybody to watch this whole entire thing. But I got it off my chest. So if you watch it all the way through, thank you. I appreciate you. Hopefully you don't hate me for my opinions, because I don't hate you for yours. I really don't. I don't judge you for being different. I really don't. If you love Trump, love Trump. You've got your reasons. No problem. That'd be like telling you don't love the person you're with because they're different from you. Anyway, love you. Peace to you. Peace and love. Be good to each other.